Hi everyone, welcome back to the Art of Business English, episode 130. And today I'm going to be looking at collocations with the word drive. So you're probably thinking, what kind of business collocations can work with the word drive? Well, you'd be surprised. It's quite a common word to collocate and cause or create some interesting expressions, very descriptive ones, and ones that will make your English sound super native and very professional. So nothing better than that, especially in business. So I hope you're all well. Just to let you all know, this will be the last episode of the year before summer. And next week we'll be launching the summer series. So if you're a long-time listener of the Art of Business English, you'll know that last year we did the summer series, and it was the first year that we did it. And what we did is we grabbed like the top 12 episodes from the last 12 months. And each week we put them together. We put 3 together and we release them each week so that you can go back. And now that you're more relaxed, you've got some time, you can sit back and listen for an hour to the ones that people have found the most useful or the ones which have been the most popular. So stay tuned. I'm going to be running the summer series over the month of August, which is great because everyone's relaxing and chilling out. If you are in the northern hemisphere, if you're in the southern hemisphere, well, hopefully you'll find some time in the midst of winter to listen in. And that's about it for me. I'm going to dive over now and get into this episode, and we'll be looking into 10 business collocations with the word drive. Right then, episode 130, 10 business collocations with the word drive. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one, which is to have or lack drive. Okay, so you can either have it or you lack it. Lack is una falta de algo in Spanish. So if you have a lot of drive, then you are someone who is motivated, okay? And you're also hardworking. You want to succeed at what you do, very important. So if you lack drive, then you are pretty much the opposite. You're someone who is mediocre and unlikely to succeed. So yeah, good. An example would be, he lacks the competitive drive needed to succeed. Okay, so it's really important in life, I feel, that you have drive. If you don't have drive, then you're just here wasting your time. So let's look at the next one, which is within a or an plus time expression drive. So, if something, for example, is within a 30-minute drive, that means that it is a 30-minute car journey from where you are. So, you can put any time expression. You could say it's within an hour's drive, it's within a 2-day drive. But normally we use it like, it's just within a 30-minute drive, or it's within an hour's drive from here. So an example is, the company's head office is only within an hour's drive of Barcelona's main airport. Okay, so easy, no? Pretty straightforward. Next one, launch plus you need to insert an adjective here. Now, in this case, the adjective is often like a noun, which is being used as an adjective, as you'll see. So let's have a look at what this is. When we decide to launch a drive, it means that we're going to start a process to push towards an objective. For example, if you launch a fundraising drive, then you're trying to raise money for a specific purpose and you are pushing to reach your goal. Another example of this would be, we're going to launch a big recruitment drive, so a big recruitment drive in the autumn. If you are launching a big recruitment drive, it means that you're going to try and contract or hire new employees, okay? Right. The driving force. Okay, so often the preposition behind is used with this. So this is because the driving force is the thing that is causing the propulsion or the thrust on something. So it's the force that is moving the thing. So the driving force behind something is often, in a business, it's a person, or it could be, market forces. An example would be, government legislation is the driving force behind these changes in renewable energy use. So the thing that's making or propelling the change is government legislation in my example. Whereas, the CEO could be the driving force behind change in an organization. So, you can use it in a number of ways. But it's a nice expression to use, and, it's a good way to talk about what is causing things to move forward. Next one, in the driver's seat. Well, literally, if you're in the driver's seat, you are the one who's in control or in charge of something. And if you use it literally, then you are the one who's driving the car. So, I'm driving the car, I'm in the driver's seat. But if you use it, a bit more metaphorically, it means that someone is in charge or in control of the company or the situation. So an example is the company began to collapse when it became apparent that there was no one in the driver's seat. So the company was, without any control, so it started to collapse because there was no one, there was no leadership. The company lacked leadership. Okay, this is a good one. The next one, drive, and here I've used the noun customers, but you can drive someone away or you can drive customers away. Now, if you drive customers away, it's a bad thing because it means they're leaving. They don't want to do business with you anymore. So if you drive someone away, then you force them to leave, okay? Or you do something that makes people want to leave. So, not a good thing to be doing in business. An example of this is the company drove many customers away when the company changed its pricing model to a monthly subscription. Now, drive is an irregular verb, so you will see that when I've used it here, I've said the company drove. In the simple past, it's drove, okay? It's in the present simple or infinitive form, it's drive. In the simple past, it's drove. And in the past participle form, it is driven. So drive, drove, driven. So yeah, in this example, I'm using it in the simple past, therefore it is drove. Okay, so what's the next one we've got here? So the next one is to drive someone crazy. And, it's generally a bad thing because to drive someone crazy means to make them mad or exasperated. So, they're pulling their hair out, as we say in English. But, if someone can drive you crazy, if you are attracted to them and they make, he or she drives me crazy, meaning, you're attracted to them and they're making you, start to go crazy because you're falling in love with them or you can't think properly. So generally we use it like, my boss is driving me crazy, but you can say, that my girlfriend's driving me crazy because I'm so in love with her. So it depends on the context, but generally it's negative, okay? So an example would be, John's new boss is driving him crazy. He's always complaining about everything. So in this example, John's not very happy because his boss is always complaining about everything that John does. So John is being driven crazy. All right, the next one is to drive a wedge between. Okay, a wedge is like, a triangular shape of wood normally. We normally put a wedge to stop the door from closing. So you can imagine if you drive a wedge between someone or something, it creates like an abyss, or it creates a division between them. It makes them further apart. So if you drive a wedge between someone, then you make a situation hostile and make enemies. Yeah, so you don't, it's a bad thing. If someone's driving a wedge between you and your wife, then, they're getting in the middle of the relationship between you and your wife. So not a good thing. An example sentence here would be, the CEO tried to drive a wedge between two key board members in order to achieve her hidden agenda. So the CEO in this case was trying to create a conflict between two of the members of the board because the CEO had, something secret, a secret agenda or a hidden agenda that they wanted to achieve. Okay, so to drive a wedge between is not a great thing. All right, let's look at the next one. to drive change in an organization, and this, is a great expression. People use it all the time. We need to drive change in the organization, make things more productive and blah, blah. So, this is a very commonly used expression, but driving change within an organization is important and something we should do. Because, we should be in a constant process of improvement, continuous improvement. So if you are driving change, then you are the one who is pushing to make change happen within an organization. Basically, you're the person that's trying to make that change happen. So an example would be the quality team is always driving change within our company. They want the best processes and systems in place. Okay, so it's quite clear now. The quality team are the ones that are pushing and driving this change. All right, I think this is my last one. Competitive drive. So competitive drive, it's quite clear, no? Someone with a competitive drive has a strong need or desire to compete with others or win at something. And, that can be a good or a bad thing. Having competitive drive means that you always want to, do your best, win, get ahead, which is great in many situations. But, if it's at the expense of other people, then maybe it's not so great to have a competitive drive. But if you want to win, if you're competitive and you want to win, then, if you want to win, you've got to be competitive. All right, let's look at some examples. I have a strong competitive drive, so I played quite a few sports when I was in school. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, that is my last one. That's 10. Okay, so let's just look at the final thoughts for the day then. So there you have it, my 10 business collocations with the word drive. And I'm sure you'll find those very useful and not really that difficult, I reckon, to understand and to put into practice. So as always, my advice is to grab 3 or 4, start using them first, and every week learn or adopt another 3. And before long, they'll become a natural part of your vocabulary, and you can start using them in your next meeting or wherever, sound much more professional and have this wonderful expansive range of vocabulary and expressions in English. Now that is it for me. Thank you very much for being with me this year. It's been pretty crazy, as I'm sure you're all aware, with the COVID situation and the confinement, especially here in Spain. We've been one of the worst affected countries. And now, we're in a good situation, I guess, now. So we can look back on it and learn a lot. But thanks again for being with me through all of it. And I hope that, you've benefited from the podcast. I hope you've learned a lot. I hope you've enjoyed everything throughout the year. And as always, if you do want to invest in yourself and improve at your business English, you can grab a copy of my ebook, 500 Business English Collocations for Everyday Use. And that includes all of the pronunciation by me in MP3 format. And over at the Art of Business English, we have got a massive suite of online courses that you can take. So if you've got time this summer, why not dive into my meetings course, which is epic. You've got the advanced email writing course, which is fantastic and really great at helping you communicate effectively over email. I've got the socializing course on how to engage people in conversation, which is also a fantastic course. We've got webinar series over at on the homepage, so check those out. We've got general English courses, basic, pre-intermediate, intermediate. I've got Cambridge certificate courses for those of you who need an English certification for your work or for your education or your studies at university. So that is it for me, people. Stay tuned next week for episode 1 or season 2, episode 1 of the 2020 summer series here on the Art of Business English. And once again, thanks. It's been a pleasure. Take care. Bye for now.